Miles Sanders is playing Green Bay. We know Green Bay does not have a good run defense. So if there ever were a time to start running Miles Sanders into the ground, it's right now. Carson Wentz is complete ass. What is up, Fackers? It is currently week 13 on a Friday. Actually, it's Saturday now because it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm bored, so I'm going to try something different. We haven't put out a video in a while. Why not do it now? Thinking about doing a little bit of a fantasy football Reddit recap where I just go down the hot topics for today. Maybe it'll help you out before your Sunday games. And just get right into it. And the hot topics for today. Highest voted. This is, I kind of checked this out earlier. It's just some Chrome extension that shows you your fantasy score no matter what web page you're on. So I'm not going to really look into this, but if you're interested, here it is. It looks like a lot of people are interested. 11.9K upvotes. Thank you for the help. This looks like some guy's league. I'm not going to go into that. Okay, finally, some fantasy news. We have Josh Jacobs rolled out for week 13. John Gruden says he will not play against the Jets. So, if you know what that means, it means Devonte Booker, their backup, will be getting probably the majority of the work. They still have Jalen Richard there. He might just come in on third downs. I know last year when Josh Jacobs was injured, not Devonte Booker, DeAndre Washington actually got a lot of play. I think he had 20 plus touches quite a few times. So Devonte Booker definitely a play this week, week 13 with Josh Jacobs out. Josh Jacobs might be out next week too. We have to wait and see. Pete Carroll said expects Chris Carson to get the ball more this week. We'll see. You can never really trust what Pete Carroll says, especially the way Russell Wilson was playing earlier in the year. Like they were winning games and Russell was playing out of his mind. Now he has fallen a little bit for fantasy and just in general, but they are playing the Giants. I think that, I mean, they should be able to handle them pretty easily. Giants actually have a decent run defense, so I think you're going to be starting Russell Wilson either way. Also, you're going to be starting Chris Carson, so not much to look into that. James Jones did a AMA. Let's see, any good questions? Rogers' relationship with Tanyan. Remember, James Jones was the hoodie guy, or the hoodie for the Packers. That's how people know him. Right here, but okay, just a bunch of PR crap. No one really cares. Devonte, yeah, okay. No one really cares what he has to say. Here it is. That stat that I was looking at. 3 games with Josh Jacobs sidelined last year. DeAndre Washington, 20 carries, 20 touches, 25 touches, 25 touches, with Jalen Richard active for each game. So that basically means Devonte Booker is going to be getting a ton of carries. Like he's probably a top 15 running back this week, especially against the Jets. Jalen Richard probably not playable either. Lions waive veteran wide receiver Marvin Hall. Huge. Oh, speaking of wide receivers on Detroit, also Matt Patricia got fired, which is good for him. Gallaudet is going to be rolled out for week 13, so I don't really know why they waived him. They say they want to look at younger guys. Now, this is what's funny. Let's take a look. I saw this comment earlier. Younger guys. You want to know who the younger guys are? Oh, never mind. Different thread, apparently. Well, Quintez Cephas is one of their younger guys, but right now they have Marvin Jones, not young. Danny Amendola, not young. And who am I missing? Oh, Mohamed Sanu. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Quintez Cephas not a play though, especially going against the Bears this week. Yeah, I don't even know if you can start any wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. You can still start T.J. Hawkinson though. Big news: Ravens activate J.K. Dobbins from the COVID-19 list. Definitely playable this week. And Robert Griffin. Oh god, I didn't see this. They placed Robert Griffin on IR. Poor guy. He looked decent. I mean, he was pretty fat. Like, I don't know. I expect Lamar Jackson to play this week, so not really huge news, but sucks for him. ESPN updated Devonte Booker's expected points. No one cares. I believe Gaskin is trending towards playing this week. I know Matt Breida, I think they put him on the COVID list. And then I also saw Ahmed not practicing, I believe. So keep an eye on this. Yeah, Gaskin might be a play this week. Another thing, Josh Jacobs. Yeah, hopeful to return next week versus the Colts. That's gonna be a tough matchup for him to come straight back in. But if he does play, you're gonna have to play him. So, but we'll wait till next week to do that. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, both off pregame injury report. That's good news. Gonna be starting them both, even though Kamara hasn't been performing. Taysom Hill just hasn't been checking down to him that much. Like Alvin Kamara was getting tons of targets with Michael Thomas out. Now Michael Thomas is back, and you have Taysom Hill there. It's not looking good for him, but it's not like you're sitting him on your bench, so not really fantasy relevant, I guess, because if they're playing, you're playing them. Now, as a Miles Sanders owner, this is what pisses me off. Miles Sanders says he doesn't ever question game plan about how many carries he's getting, but he's averaging 5.6 yards per carry. Nick Chubb, only running back with averaging more yards per carry than him. And for some reason, this kind of went under the radar. Jordan Howard signed with them last week. I don't know. I didn't think he got a snap. Maybe I didn't see him on the field at least. So I don't know if he's their goal line back because they weren't in the goal line very often last week. But Miles Sanders is playing Green Bay. We know Green Bay does not have a good run defense. So if there ever were a time to start running Miles Sanders into the ground, it's right now. Carson Wentz is complete ass. He's a bad quarterback. So they need to get their best playmakers the ball. Miles Sanders. People want to say Dallas Goedert. Yeah. Also, shout out to me when I said don't draft Zach Ertz because he's been trashed this year. But yeah, you're going to be playing Miles Sanders this week. Just the way he runs, he has the ability to explode for like one of those 60-yard touchdowns. And against the Packers defense, he definitely has the opportunity to do that. How long we got? We got 7 minutes. Go a little bit longer. Dolphins placed Matt Breida on reserve COVID list. That's good for Gaskin, even though he wasn't getting many snaps to begin with. Here's some big Lions news. Kenny Gallaudet ruled out. Deandre Swift questionable. There was some reports earlier in the week too that said if Deandre Swift were to play, he'd still be limited. That means you're going to see Peterson back there. You're going to see Kerryon Johnson back there. I don't know if I feel safe starting anyone not named TJ Hawkinson this week against the Bears. It's a tough matchup. And do you really want to risk throwing DeAndre Swift out there and he doesn't get a lot of carry? I mean, I guess if some teams are struggling for that running back, you might have to throw him out there. Just could be risky. Just keep that in mind. Who are some players that could become instant top 10 in their positions if they're on another team? Let's see, running back. I said this before the season even started. Kareem Hunt would be a top 5 running back, or drafted at least, if you were on another team. If you went to the Cowboys, Zeke wasn't there, top 5. Well, not right now because Cowboys are not playing too well. For wide receiver, top 10 position. Oh man. They say Allen Robinson, but he's kind of already top 10, is he not? Kenny Gallaudet, I mean, he's got to get on the field. He could be top 10. Terry McLaurin, he's doing what, like, a lot of these guys are already pretty close to top 10. Damon Harris, I can see he runs really well. Yeah, I agree with Damon Harris. He's been running really well. OBJ, I mean, we've already seen it. He's got to stay healthy too, though. Brashad Perriman, I don't agree with. He had one big like stretch last year with the Bucks, but he really hasn't shown much. And AJ Brown, I think he finished top 10 last year as a the wide receiver, so I don't know about that one. Matt Stafford, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of those guys. Julio Jones says he didn't feel anything while running around in practice today. He feels good. For you Julio Jones owners, it's good for y'all. Now, if you had Matt Ryan, planning on starting him against the Saints this week, I don't like it, but it is good news that Julio Jones is playing because Matt Ryan doesn't play very well with Julio Jones out. So that is good for you. And good for the whole offense as a whole. I don't know if we're going to come up to it, but Todd Gurley, I think, is questionable as well for the Falcons. So keep an eye on that. Brian Hill might get the majority of carries. Or actually, Ito Smith didn't look bad last week. He was playable. Effective this week, 13. Teams will be allowed to travel with more than 63 players. Okay, not really. I don't know if it really affects fantasy at all, but okay. They will be allowed to travel with more players. Seems counterintuitive. Yeah, let's put more people on planes. Allen Robinson left the Bears practice with a knee issue. Precautionary. Okay, keep an eye on that. Going to be starting him no matter what, but if he does play, just keep an eye on that. Rashard Penny will practice this week. So, possible pickup. I don't know if he's ever going to be playable. 49er coach Kyle Shanahan said Deebo Samuel hamstring isn't injured. Going to play against Buffalo. It's actually good news. Buffalo's defense isn't what it was last year, what they thought it was, like what people thought it was earlier this year. You can throw on them. Quarterbacks aren't playing as well as they were in the past, and also like they're not stopping the run much either. Like this could be a shootout. Now John Brown isn't playing for Buffalo, which hurts Buffalo. It hurts Josh Allen, but could be some points put up on the board here. Oh, here it is. Devon Ahmed and Matt Breida not spotted. DeAndre Washington. Oh yeah, I forgot that they signed DeAndre Washington. Speaking of Raiders running back, ex-Raiders running backs. Yeah, I think it's gonna. If Myles Gaskins is healthy, then yeah, I expect him to get the majority of the work. No longer in concussion protocol. Okay, that's kind of old news. Yeah, what else? There's just a bunch of Miles Sanders stuff. J.K. Dobbins, Kenny Gallaudet expected to miss. Oh, okay. Here's some big news. Edwards-Helaire still sick. He didn't practice today. I haven't heard anything. Oh, this is from today. Okay, so you love Bell owners. This might be the one time you get to play them the rest of the year. So if you have them, throw them in there. And to end this, I want to go to a thread I was commenting on earlier that I got downvoted for. What is a stack? This pissed me off, okay? A stack, according to this guy, is a QB wide receiver combo that stacks points when they complete a play together. I completely disagree. A stack is basically any two guys on the same team. Actually, they don't have to be on the same team. Any two guys in the same game that have some kind of correlation. So a running back defense. If your running back is performing well, usually your defense is performing well as well in the same game. Like your defense gets turnovers, maybe it's in the red zone already, then you hand the ball off to your running back. That's a good stack. This guy doesn't seem to think so. But he does say that a QB kicker is a stack. Now, how do you call that a stack but not a running back defense? I don't know. I got in a big argument, got downvoted a bunch. I just wanted to vent for a second, but he's wrong. You can read his definition here. Yeah, we're gonna end it here. Hopefully you learned something. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like button, all that. We do live streams on Sundays on Instagram and YouTube before the games to answer all your questions. And sometimes I do an entire 4-hour stream. Watch Red Zone, the first 12 o'clock games or 1 o'clock games, wherever you're from. So if you want to stop by then, watch some games with me, feel free to do so. Other than that, I'm out.